Recording maybe. Yeah. Yes. So let me start with the next one. Let me do. See, in calculus, whenever you see you want to prove something is zero. Let me say, uh, let x is positive, then x is zero if and only if for each n belongs to natural number, x must be less than equal to 1 by n. Okay, these are the two statements. Statement 1, statement 2. In between, if and only if is there. Okay, so in calculus, whenever you want to prove something is zero, it is enough to prove this part. That is, for each n belong to a natural number, x must be less than equal to 1 by n. Do you see? Now we want to prove this. See, it is if and only if you go from first part to second part, then that is quite easy. Do you see? If you assume x is 0, then right hand side is true. Give me any natural number 1 by n, it will be always bigger than 0. Do you agree? One part is easy. Yes, if x is 0, then clearly 0 is less than equal to 1 by n. That is, x is less than equal to 1 by n. So one part is done. N is any natural number. Put it should be actually for each natural number. So put n equal to 1, 2, 3, 4. It will never go to. It is tending to 0, but it will never be 0. Do you agree? Okay. Now we want to prove the next part. Now we have to assume this and we want to prove this. Correct? We are done with it. Since it is if and only if, now we have to assume this and we have to prove this. So what we have to assume, for each n belong to natural number, for each n belongs to natural number, x is less than equal to 1 by n. Correct? And we want to prove x is 0. Suppose let us assume, suppose x is not 0. That is, suppose let us assume x is positive. That is, I want to prove this by the method of contradiction. Yeah. So if possible, yeah, to prove x is 0. See, the in the question it was x is greater than equal to 0. No? So to prove x is 0, suppose not. Suppose x is not 0, then what is the possibility for x? Can it be negative? Can it be negative? No, because in the starting only I am giving x is greater than equal to 0. I want to prove x is 0. Suppose not. Suppose that is x is not equal to 0. That means x is positive. If x is positive, what about 1 by x? That is also positive. Correct. Can I use Archimedean property? What is Archimedean property? If you are having a real number which is positive, then what does it imply? That means there exists a natural number, say n, that is a natural number. There exists a natural number such that 1 by x is less than n. Do you agree? This is what Archimedean property says. Now, give me any real number, I will give you a natural number which is bigger than that. So I am taking that real number as 1 by x. So I will be having a natural number n which is bigger. So 1 by x is less than n. Do you agree? Yes. What about what should I do next? Do you see some contradiction here? What about x? X will be greater than 1 by n. Do you see some contradiction? What was my assumption? For each n, do you see? For each n belong to a natural number, this is true. But here I can have a n such that x is less than 1 by n. That is a contradiction. Do you see? Try to observe everyone. I have already assumed that for each natural number x must be less than equal to 1 by n. But here what I am getting a natural number n such that x is greater than 1 by n. That is definitely false because I have assumed something else. So this contradicts. Why this contradiction came into the picture? Why this contradiction? Correct. Our assumption is wrong. So what should be our correct one? Hence x must be 0. Perfect. Do you see? So whenever in calculus you want to prove something is 0, it is best way to prove x is less than equal to 1 by n for each n. This technique will be used everywhere. One more thing, if you want to prove a equal to b, then also you can do it similarly. Can you say something? If you want to prove a equal to b, then you should start. You can prove it by e minus b is less than 1 by n. Do you agree? Because if I assume say x equal to e minus b, then this question is again as the previous one. You want to prove x equal to 0. How can we prove x equal to 0? When x must be less than equal to 1 by n. Do you agree? So I am converting this problem as equal to 0 part. So in calculus, if you want to prove both two people are equal, it is enough to prove their subtraction is less than equal to 1 by n. Do you agree? I'm just using previous property. What is my previous property? If I want to prove something equal to x is equal to 0, if and only if for each n belongs to natural number, x must be less than equal to 1 by n. Correct? So what? Now my question is to prove a equal to b. So I'll define x as a minus b. Correct? Now the question was to prove a minus b, to prove a equal to b. Now my question become to prove x equal to 0. If my x is 0, then a is equal to b. Do you see that? So I am changing this as x equal to 0. Now I can use my previous theorem. To prove x equal to 0, I just have to prove that for all n belong to natural number, 1 by x must be less than, sorry, x is less than equal to 1 by n. Correct? This is what I have to prove. That's it. For all natural number. And what is my x? X is a minus b. It is better to choose a mod of a minus b, because in some part you can get the negative value. So that we have to neglect. Let us consider length. Okay. So this was basic property. Let us do one of the famous theorem, that is greatest integer function theorem. Do you understand what do you mean by greatest integer function? It is denoted by something like this, floor function. This is also called floor function, but sometimes whatever you call greatest integer function. What do you mean by that? And let me just prove existence of this first. That is, let x belongs to R, then there exists a unique m belongs to Z such that m is less than equal to x is less than equal to uh, less than m plus 1. First of all, do you agree with this theorem? This is existence of greatest integer function. I should write existence. Read the question once again, read the theorem once again, and try to see whether do you agree. First of all, if you agree, then only you can prove. See, I am giving you any real number. you have to give me a integer such that m must be less than equal to x less than equal to m plus 1, something like that. Say I am saying 2.5. Can you give me this m and m plus 1? Perfect. 2 and 3, correct. Do you see? Similarly, if I give you any real number, can you always do that? Yeah. So that is what I have to prove now. This is that means this is uh, greatest integer function. We will later on define it. Let us now try to prove this first. Okay. So to prove, let me define a set. Let s is equal to set of all integers such that k is less than equal to x. Okay. So this is my x. I have given you a x. What I am defining? I am defining a set which consists of all integers which are less than your x. Suppose if I am giving x equal to 5. So what will be in my set s? If I say x is equal to 5, then what are the elements will be there in the set s? S contains all the integers which are less than equal to x. So can you tell me what are they? If my x is 5. 1 2 3 4 5, and even yeah, correct, even minus negative integers also, correct. Yeah. So this was just to observe whether you understand this set or not. And do you see this set is bounded? This set consists of all integers, correct. What are the bound? Can you see x is a bound of this set? X is always less than equal to sorry, k is always less than equal to x, so x is always bound. Even x plus 1 more than x, if you take any number, then that number will be bound for that. In short, x is the bound for this set S. Do you see? Okay. Can somebody tell me what is LUB property? What is LUB property? You don't have to look into your notes. You try to see. याद है तो बोलो. Try not to go back and check the notes. What is LUB property? See, I already told you these all things we'll be using all the time. Anyone? Perfect, very nice. So the first condition you already told me that you should be having a non-empty set, correct? And bounded above is okay, or bounded? Bounded above is enough for me. Perfect. Do you see this set? This set is bounded above, which we already saw. Now, can we prove this set is non-empty? Can you prove that this set is non-empty? How can you prove this set is non-empty? You should give at least one element which belongs to the set. Or you can start with suppose it is empty, and you can prove it is non-empty by getting some contradiction. That means what? We claim this set is non-empty. Correct? You want to claim that this set is non-empty. How can you do that? Suppose not. Suppose not. That means what? Suppose this set is empty. Then what happens? There is something which is true for all integer. Do you see? K is k belongs to integer such that k is less than equal to x. Suppose not. Suppose s is empty. That means what? All the integers are. That means k belongs to integer. Then what? K is always no. Hmm. X is always less than k. Do you agree? What is the negation of this? If this set is empty, that means what? There does not exist any integer which is less than x. That means what? Every integer is greater than x. If this set is empty, that means give me any integer, every integer is greater than x. Do you agree? Try to visualize this thing. Do you see? Look at your set once again. What was my set? What was my set? Give me any real number. I have to consider all the integers which are less than that. Now I want to say this set is empty. That means what? Give me any integer. Every integer will be greater than that x. Because there does not exist any element here. So for all k belongs to integer, x is less than equal to k. Okay. Do you see some contradiction? What? What is the contradiction here? Do you see some contradiction? Anyone? So, so what? We are assuming it. See, suppose S is non-empty. We want to prove. We are assuming suppose S is empty. So ये थोड़ी contradiction हुआ. ये तो अपना assumption है ना. Suppose S is empty. That means what? S empty का मतलब लिखा है मैंने. That's it. That means give me any integer. X is always less than K. Try to see this part. X is always less than K and K is integer. Can I write K as minus n where n belongs to natural number? Can I write that? Can I write any integer of this form? Or can I say this minus n belongs to integer? Whether minus n belongs to integer? Yes. Okay, so minus n will also satisfy the same condition what is satisfied by all the integers. That means what? At the place of k I will write x is less than minus n. Now do you see the contradiction? Anyone? I think now you should answer that. One more step, then there should be a contradiction. What next? Very nice, very nice. That is minus x, it will be greater than n. What next? Do you see some contradiction now? What is my n? N is any natural number, and I am getting minus x is an upper bound for natural number. That means what? Natural number is bounded above, which is a contradiction. Do you see? N is any natural number and I am having minus x is upper bound for that. That means the natural number is bounded above, which is a contradiction. Perfect. That means what? Our assumption is wrong. What was our assumption? We have assumed S is empty set, correct? Hence S must be non-empty. So now I have both the condition for S, and I should write X is upper bound of S, and the set S is non-empty. What can I say now? By LUV property, बोलो. By LUV property, LUV exists na? By LUV property, let alpha belong to R, be its least upper bound. Least upper bound of S. Correct? Yes. Okay. Now alpha is my least upper bound. What about alpha minus 1? Alpha minus 1 is less than alpha. If alpha is my least upper bound, what about alpha minus 1? This technique we have used earlier also. If alpha is my least upper bound, what about alpha minus 1? Or alpha minus something, anything. Alpha minus 5, alpha minus 10. Whether that will be an upper bound. It is not an upper bound, correct? What about alpha plus 1, alpha plus 2, alpha plus 5, alpha plus 10? Perfect, very nice. Correct, very nice. Since alpha is my least upper bound, if I take anything less than alpha, that will not be an upper bound. That means what? Alpha minus 1 is not upper bound. What do you mean by not upper bound? Not upper bound मतलब कैसे बोलेंगे not upper bound? In the set there should be someone which is bigger than. Yes, alpha minus 1 is less than equal to somebody in that is in the set, correct? Yes, perfect. Alpha minus 1 is not an upper bound. That means what? There exists someone in the set S such that alpha minus 1 is less than that that boy in the set. Do you agree? Okay. Yeah. Now, since K belongs to S, what is the property for K? Very nice. I should write here since K belongs to S, that means K is less than equal to X. Correct? Now I want to claim something. I want to claim, we claim, see, do we have an integer somewhere? What I have to prove? X belong to real number, there exists a unique m which is an integer such that m is less than equal to x is less than m plus 1. Correct? Do you see any existence here? Alpha minus 1 is not an upper bound. That means there exists k belongs to s. But s के एलिमेंट कैसे हैं? इंटीजर्स है ना. सो आई एम हैविंग, आई शुड के यूज़ नहीं करना चाहिए था, मुझे m यूज़ करता तो तुम लोग को क्लिक हो जाता कि क्या करना है. Since it is an integer, that's why I'm saying. So there exists an m belongs to s such that alpha minus 1 is less than m. Now we have and also we are having since k sorry m, यहाँ पे भी m, since m belongs to s, that means m is less than equal to x. Do you see we are done with the first part? Here also we wanted to prove m is less than equal to x. What remains now? Perfect. We claim x is less than m plus 1. Correct? This is what our claim. So what should I do? Suppose not. If false, correct? If false, that means suppose x is greater than equal to m plus 1. So do you see some contradiction, or should I solve something and then do something? If false, that means x is less than x is greater than equal to m plus 1. That means what? M plus 1 is less than equal to, सेम उसी को मैंने ऐसा लिखा, चलेगा? सो दैट तुमको कुछ क्लिक होए. ठीक है, इतना क्लिक है, इसी को मैंने ऐसा लिखा. डू यू सी समथिंग नाउ? Does this imply something? That is m plus 1 belongs to the set S, because m plus 1 is less than equal to x. बट हम लोग ने क्या बोला है, जितने भी इंटीजर x से छोटे हैं उनको हम लोग ने किस में रखा है? S में रखा है. M plus 1 is also an integer and that is also less than equal to x. That means m plus 1 must be in the set S. Do you agree? Think about it. We wanted to claim x is less than m plus 1. We are assuming suppose not, that is suppose x is greater than equal to m plus 1. Then I should have some contradiction. Let us solve. That is x is greater than equal to m plus 1. That means what? M plus 1 is less than equal to x. But we have already seen the set S. S क्या था? S contains all the integers which are less than x, and m plus 1 is also an integer which is less than equal to x. So m plus 1 must also belongs to S. Do you agree? Do you agree this part? Okay, I'll repeat once again. We want to claim x is less than m plus 1. Suppose not, that means x is greater than equal to m plus 1. But what was my set S? S consists of all the integers which are less than x. My m plus 1, that is also an integer only, because I have considered m was in S. So here I am getting m plus 1, that is also an integer, and m plus 1 is less than equal to x. That means what? M plus 1 belongs to S. Okay, since alpha is LUB of S, so what should I have? M plus 1 is less than alpha. Do you agree? M plus 1 सेट का एलिमेंट है, अल्फा अगर LUB है तो M plus 1 must be less than alpha. What next? That means M is less than alpha minus 1. Do you see some problem here? Huh. What is my problem here? What was my M? How हम लोग ने choose कैसे किया था M को? There exists M belongs to S such that alpha minus 1 less than M होना चाहिए. But here I am having ulta. That is M is less than alpha minus 1. So this is a contradiction. Do you see? This contradicts our assumption of M. M was having this condition, correct? Alpha minus 1 must be less than M. But here after solving I am getting M is less than alpha minus 1, which is false. That means I have assumed something wrong. Just I'll complete that, then I'll repeat it, don't worry. Go slow. You want to learn, you don't want to rush. This yeah, so sorry, M is less than alpha minus 1. So what this contradicts, this contradicts our choice of m. Hence जो भी अपना assumption था वो wrong है. Hence what I'm having, m is less than x, sorry, x is less than m plus 1. Hence x is less than m plus 1. Correct? Thus by combining both, can I say x is between uh, m is less than equal to x less than m plus 1. Correct? Hence proved. Hence proved. Let us go back to the proof once again and then let us see. I hope I'm having some time. Yeah. Yeah. So let us see. What was my question? I am given any real number. I should give an integer m such that m is less than equal to x, and that is less than m plus 1. This is what I have to prove. This type of proof, that is called constructive proof, where I have to construct a set and I have to prove. You'll see many proof that depends on constructive proof. So here I have started. Let S is set of all integers which are less than equal to x. Do you understand this set first? You should always take some example and see whether you understand the structure of a set or not. You should start with, suppose कोई एक number लिया, suppose you start with 10. What will we having in the set? All the integers which are less than 10. Perfect. If this is done, then you're halfway done. Now you want to claim this set is non-empty. Suppose not. Suppose this set is empty. That means what? Every integer satisfy इसका उल्टा जो भी है, k is less than equal to x है ना. That means every integer will be greater than x. That is x is less than k. What next? Can I choose k as minus n? If n belongs to natural number, then minus n is also belonging to integers. So if something is true for all integer, then that something will be true for minus n also, that is x is less than minus n. So minus x is greater than n. That is a contradiction. What is contradiction here? This guy is saying natural number is bounded above. That is minus x is an upper bound for set of natural number, which is wrong, which is false. So what is my conclusion? That is the set is non-empty. Our assumption is wrong. That is set is non-empty. Is that clear? The first part is okay? Okay. What about the next one? What is the next thing? The set is bounded above, non-empty bounded above, then by LUB property, LUB of the set exists. Correct? By LUB property, LUB of the set exists. So let's start. Let alpha belongs to R be the least upper bound. So what about alpha minus 1? If alpha is least upper bound, then alpha minus 1 is not an upper bound. So not an upper bound means what? There exists and someone in the set. So वो someone को हम लोग ने m बोला. So there exists m belongs to the set such that alpha minus 1 is less than x. Sorry, alpha m. Yeah, alpha minus 1 is less than m. Then what? Since m belongs. Oh, sorry. Actually, there is some network issue. Oh, okay. So since m belongs to s, so we are done. M is less than equal to x. ये first part हो गया अपने proof का. Now next part we want to claim x is less than m plus 1. This is what we want to claim. So again we will start if this is not true, that is if false. That means x is greater than equal to m plus 1, then I should get some contradiction. I'll be having, see, m plus 1 is less than equal to x, but this structure was of the set S. That means what? M plus 1 belongs to S. That means, but alpha is LUB of set S. That means m plus 1 is less than alpha. So m is less than alpha minus 1, which contradicts our choice of m. Because हम लोग ने m कैसे चूज किया था, alpha minus 1 is less than m ऐसा चूज किया था, but I am having here m is less than alpha minus 1, which is a contradiction. This contradicts our choice of m. Hence x is less than m plus 1. So x is lying between m and n plus 1. Try to go back and try to write the proof once again with yourself. Okay. Yeah. And ये m को हम लोग क्या डिनोट करते हैं, दिस इज m, ग्रेटेस्ट इंटीजर फंक्शन बोलते हैं. ग्रेटेस्ट इंटीजर फंक्शन लेस देन x. दिस इज डिफाइंड एज ग्रेटेस्ट इंटीजर लेस देन x. सी फाइनली हम लोग ने प्रूफ किया कि ऐसा एग्जिस्ट होता है. अर्लियर केस मतलब इन 11th 12th हम लोग क्या करते थे, डायरेक्ट हम लोग बोलते थे कि इसका ग्रेटेस्ट इंटीजर ये आएगा ये आएगा, बट हम लोग ने कभी प्रूफ नहीं किया था कि एग्जिस्ट ही होएगा. नाउ सी वी आर प्रूविंग एवरीथिंग. let me just define something, or let me just give you the statement and we will prove it later. The next is density theorem. Density theorem. There are four statements of this. I'll write the first one, that is given E comma B belongs to R with E is less than B, then there exist R belongs to rational number such that E is less than X is less than B. What do you mean by that? Give me any two real number, there will exist a rational number. This is what density theorem is saying. Rational कोई special बंदा थोड़ी है. So I should write again, given E comma B belongs to R with E is less than B, there exist R belongs to irrational number such that E is less than यहाँ पे आ यहाँ पे R आना चाहिए था, sorry, that R will be in between ना. This is R. हाँ, E is less than R is less than B. Do you understand the statement? The statement is, give me any two real number, there will always exist a rational number. एक पहला वाला हो गया, अ नहीं बोल सकते, there may exist many. Same, give me any two real number, there will exist a rational number. Correct? This is what we want to prove. This is the density theorem. So नाम भी याद रखना है अपने को. We will be using all the time. ये सब जो भी अभी तक हम लोग ने किया है. Okay. So I'm sorry, actually there is some network issue. I'm trying to fix it. So we'll be doing this proof later on.